everyone. Welcome back to English Practice Lab. I'm Sarah.
And I'm John. And today's episode is a fun one because we're talking about summer. The weather, the food, the holidays, all of it.
I'm actually really excited about this one because summer vocabulary comes up constantly in everyday conversation, way more than people expect.
Exactly. Think about it. Even a stranger in an elevator will comment on the weather in summer. Hot enough for you is basically a national sport in some countries.
True. So today we're going to walk through natural ways to talk about summer weather, summer activities, and summer holidays. And we'll use real example sentences so you can actually use these in conversation, not just recognize them in a textbook.
Let's start with the weather because, honestly, that's where most summer small talk begins.
Right. And one thing learners often get stuck on is that hot gets boring really fast. There are so many more colorful ways to describe summer heat.
My personal favorite is scorching. If someone says, it's absolutely scorching out there today, they just mean it's extremely hot. Hot enough that it almost feels like it could burn you.
I like boiling hot too. You'll often hear someone say, I can't believe how boiling hot it is in the office today, even though nothing is literally boiling.
And then there's muggy, which is a slightly different feeling. That's when it's hot and humid, so the air feels heavy and sticky rather than just warm.
Muggy days are the worst, honestly. You step outside and immediately feel like you need a shower again.
Completely agree. And on the flip side, if the weather is actually pleasant, people often say something is glorious. Like, we had absolutely glorious weather this weekend.
That's such a lovely word. It really captures that feeling of a perfect sunny day.
Now, let me talk about what happens to us physically in that sunshine, because there's some great vocabulary here too.
Oh, like getting a tan?
Exactly. If you spend a lot of time outside and your skin gets a bit darker from the sun, that's called getting a tan. You might hear someone say, I got a nice tan on my trip to the coast last week.
And if someone looks especially fresh and radiant after time outdoors, you can say they have a healthy glow. Like, you look amazing. You've got such a healthy glow after your holiday.
That's a really nice compliment to give someone, actually.
It is. And of course, we can't talk about summer sun without mentioning sun protection. Sun cream, or sunscreen in American English, is essential.
True. And if you forget it, you might end up with sunburn, which is when the skin turns red and painful from too much sun exposure.
Learned that one the hard way, more than once.
Haven't we all? Okay, let's shift to a phrase I absolutely love, soak up the sun. It basically means to relax and enjoy the sunshine, usually lying down somewhere comfortable.
You'd use it like, we spent the whole afternoon just soaking up the sun by the pool.
Exactly. It has this really relaxed, lazy feeling to it, which fits summer perfectly.
And when it gets too hot and you need a break from the heat, you'd say you need to cool off. Like, let's jump in the water. I really need to cool off.
Funny enough, cool off can also describe calming down after an argument. But in a summer context, it's almost always about temperature.
Good distinction. Before we move to activities, I want to sneak in a couple of fun summer idioms, because these come up in conversation more than people expect.
Oh, I love idioms. Give us one.
Indian summer. That's when you get a stretch of unusually warm, sunny weather in early autumn, after summer has technically ended. We had a lovely Indian summer last October. It felt like summer all over again.
That's such a nice surprise when it happens. Here's one I like. Summer fling. That's a short, casual, romantic relationship that happens during the summer months, often while on holiday.
Very common in movies and songs, that one.
Definitely. And one more. Make hay while the sun shines. It's an old expression, but it basically means you should take advantage of good conditions while they last. Not necessarily just about weather.
That's a great one, actually, because it applies to summer in general. Enjoy it now because it doesn't last forever.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about summer activities, because this is where a lot of great vocabulary lives, too. One of my favorites is barbecue, or BBQ for short.
It's when you cook food outdoors, usually on a grill, and it's incredibly popular the moment the sun comes out.
In a lot of English-speaking countries, the first sunny weekend of the year practically guarantees someone's hosting a barbecue.
Completely true. You might hear, "We're having a few friends over for a barbecue this Saturday," if the weather holds.
If the weather holds is a nice little phrase too. It means if the good weather continues and doesn't suddenly turn rainy.
Great catch. Let's talk beach vocabulary next, because summer and the beach practically go hand in hand.
Absolutely. If you spend time lying in the sun at the beach, that's called sunbathing. You could say, I spent the whole morning sunbathing before the beach got too crowded.
And if it's really hot weather, you might want some shade instead. That's an area protected from direct sunlight, usually under a tree, an umbrella, or a building.
Definitely essential after a couple of hours in the sun. And if you actually go into the water, you might say you're going to take a dip, which just means going for a quick swim.
I love that phrase. It sounds so casual and refreshing. I think I'll take a dip before lunch.
And if you're at the beach with kids, you'll probably see a few sand castles being built. Those little sand structures shaped like castles.
Classic beach activity. And of course, safety matters too. Most popular beaches will have lifeguards, people trained to watch the water and help swimmers if something goes wrong.
Good to mention. Safety first, even in a fun episode like this one.
Definitely. Now, one of my favorite parts of summer, the food and treats.
Oh, this is gonna make me hungry. Let's do it.
Ice cream is the obvious one, but there's actually some nice vocabulary around it. If it's served in a wafer with a pointed bottom, that's called a cone. Can I get a chocolate ice cream cone, please?
And if it's frozen flavored ice on a stick, that's an ice lolly in British English, though many people just say popsicle as well.
Right. And there's also the ice pop, which is similar but usually comes in a clear plastic tube instead of being on a stick.
All fantastic ways to cool down on a hot day. Honestly, I think dessert vocabulary might be my favorite part of any lesson.
Same here. No argument there. Okay, let's move to something a lot of learners specifically ask us about. How to talk about summer holidays and vacations.
This is such a useful topic because it comes up in almost every conversation once summer arrives. People love asking, any big plans for summer?
And there are so many natural ways to answer that. If you're traveling somewhere and staying there for a while, you'd simply say, I'm going on holiday to Portugal in July. Or in American English, I'm going on vacation.
And if you decide to stay local instead of traveling far, but still want to enjoy some time off and explore your own area, that's called a staycation.
I really like that word. You could say, we're not flying anywhere this year. We're just doing a staycation and exploring places nearby.
It's such a practical option, especially if travel gets expensive.
Definitely. And speaking of length of time, if someone says they're away for a fortnight, that simply means 2 weeks. It's more common in British English than American English.
We're heading to the coast for a fortnight. Such a clean, simple way to say 14 days.
Exactly. And one more useful term, peak season. That's the busiest time of year for travel, when prices are usually at their highest and destinations are the most crowded.
So you might hear someone say, we're trying to travel just before peak season to avoid the crowds and save some money.
Smart travelers definitely think about that kind of timing.
Now, before we wrap up, let's put a lot of this together with a quick example conversation, because I think that's the best way to really absorb all these words.
Great idea. Let's do a little role play. I'll start. Hey, Sarah, any big plans for summer this year?
Actually, yes. We're heading to the coast for a fortnight in August. I can't wait to just relax, soak up the sun, and maybe take a dip in the sea every morning.
That sounds amazing. Hopefully the weather holds for you. It's been absolutely scorching here lately.
I heard. Honestly, I could use a break from this muggy weather. What about you? Any summer plans?
We're actually doing a staycation this year. Just exploring some local parks and having a few barbecues with friends when the weather's nice.
That sounds lovely too, honestly. Simple summer plans are sometimes the best ones.
See how naturally all of that vocabulary fit into a totally normal conversation? That's really the goal here.
Exactly. It's not about memorizing a long list of words. It's about being able to actually use them the way native speakers naturally do.
So here's a homework idea for anyone watching. Try writing 2 or 3 sentences about your own summer plans, using at least 3 words from today's episode.
I love that idea. Drop your sentences in the comments. We genuinely love to read them and give you some feedback.
Let's do a quick recap before we go. We talked about weather words like scorching, boiling hot, muggy, and glorious.
We covered sun-related phrases like getting a tan, a healthy glow, soaking up the sun, and cooling off.
We went through summer activities like barbecues, sunbathing, taking a dip, building sandcastles, and staying safe with lifeguards nearby.
We enjoyed some summer treats, ice cream cones, ice lollies, and ice pops.
And we finished with holiday vocabulary, going on holiday or vacation, taking a staycation, a fortnight away, and traveling around peak season.
That's a lot of useful vocabulary for one episode. But honestly, summer gives us so much to talk about.
It really does. That's it for today's episode of English Practice Lab. If this helped expand your summer vocabulary, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next lesson.
And remember, drop your summer sentences in the comments below. We really do read every single one.
Enjoy the sunshine, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and stay cool out there.